What's up guys, Aaron Benjamin here for another video. As usual, I'm here with my good friend Ty. Lately on my channel, we started a new segment on knee on belly. To be completely honest, I did not have the intention of making this into a segment like I always do. I wanted to make one really long video on all my attacks, but my last video went really long and included so much stuff. It's my favorite video that I made to date, to be honest. So if you guys have not watched that, I cannot recommend enough to go back and watch that video. I always recommend my videos, right? Because I want you guys to learn. But man, this one, like, I put a lot of thought into it, and I really wanted to give you guys everything. It's a bunch of knee on belly attacks, and I go over so much. I go over all the details, the concepts, the different positions that you can attack from. So it's not just knee on belly, right? I talk about the same attacks from mount, side control, what to do when opponents do this and that. And it's near side arm locks, far side arm locks, kimuras, all this cool stuff. So I'm going to link that above. I'm going to link that below. I would definitely start there because this video is kind of a connection directly to that video, because it just discusses what to do if those opportunities aren't presented, and vice versa, because if these opportunities aren't presented, you can go back to that video. And like I said, I did not intend on making this segment that long. I've even had people literally tell me, like, man, that video should have just been like knee on belly instructional on knee on belly domination. But guys, I just want to help you. So today we're going to look at chokes. Last time was more arm attacks, back takes, transitions, and concepts. Today's going to be focused on chokes. And in my last video, I talked about why I use knee on belly, right? The concept of why I do it. And let me demonstrate very quickly in this video in case you're just tuning in. Basically, I'm very small. I'm a light featherweight competitor, and in order to minimize my explanation, I use it because I'm not strong. I'm not able to pry submissions. So oftentimes when you pass an opponent's guard, you'll find that if they're stronger than you, they know that you can't submit them as easily. So what do? They go purely defensive. When I say purely defensive, I mean like prayer position, not giving you anything. They don't even try to escape. So this indicates that my opponent is being purely defensive. So in this case, I'm not strong enough if he's like a 200-pound guy or 180-pound guy to start prying Americanas or prying Kimuras and stuff. So what do? I use mobility in order to open up transitions and give me opportunities that need minimal exertion. So I don't need to use so much strength. So the first thing I almost always do if he's telling me that he's being purely defensive and doesn't want to be offensive is I just pop up to a quick knee on stomach like this. Typically that's enough to create reactions, right? We went over if he pushes on your chest, the near side armbar, if he pushes on your knee to get half guard, the far side armbar. And these reactions can be created from other places, right? Like if I'm in full mount, right, I got to mount, but man, the guy's 80 pounds more than me, he's just shelled up. There's no way I'm going to submit him for the most part by forcing things, but I can definitely submit him if he opens himself up. So what do? Oftentimes I come forward, pummel, go knee on belly, he sees an opportunity, he starts to give me different reactions. We can also attain the knee on belly from transitions, right? We're here, we throw the leg, come to the knee on stomach, and now we're in these positions again, and we're trying to capitalize on the transition. So when I go to knee on belly, a lot of times your opponent will go for pushing on the knee, pushing on the ankle, pushing on the chest, right? They're going to try to escape. All the time when they do this, what are they opening up? Aside from their arms like crazy, I prefer the arm lock attacks, but I do a lot of chokes these days. He's opening up his neck, right? He's not focused on his neck. Sometimes when people push, they're very tight and it can be hard to get arm locks, right? There might not be space. So one of my favorite attacks that I'll start with, the one that I hit the most, is the baseball bat choke. I have a video of, I'm going to try to find it and maybe put it in this or post it in another day. When I was a purple belt, I did Naga at brown belt. And in the finals, I went against a pretty good kid. It was like a Naga in Jacksonville. And basically, I started the match. He pulled guard. I hit an X pass right away. I went to knee on belly right away. He started pushing, and I hit the baseball bat choke. I won the match in like a minute, and it was when I really started using baseball bats. After that, I hit a bunch. So he's here, and he's pushing. Guys, the first thing I'm going to do is bring my right hand inside and grab super deep. But once I grab deep, I want my forearm facing me, and I want my elbow on his chest. I want to pull him up and make him pretty uncomfortable here. Okay, if he's pushing, I go right to it. And I love the baseball bat grips because even if he manages to get quarter guard, I can still keep the baseball bat grips. So now my left hand is going to come thumb in, palm down. So right hand is palm up if you're a beginner, right? Elbow down. You got to put your elbow down. Don't keep your arm straight. Put your elbow down. Keep yourself low. Left hand, thumb in, and I want to connect my hands just like a baseball bat, but I want hand connection. A lot of people get sloppy grips like this, and there's no hand connection. I want my hands connected from the get-go. okay, and I want to pull him to me, okay? There's several different variations and finishing methods for the baseball bat choke. I kind of do them in steps. I go 1, 2, 3. So the first step to finish is you can kind of test your opponent's will and how much they're going to defend. The first one is just to come low, head across the body, and touch your elbows together, like so. Okay, you can definitely get the tap there. This is the very, very, very basic baseball, right? I got my grips, pull up, touch the elbows, and squeeze. And I can get the tap. But most people are privy to the baseball bat, and they don't let you just tap them like that. So the second variation of finishing is going to be to bring my left leg to his head and bring my right leg off, like so. So I basically switch. Right now my left foot is down, my right knee is up, and now I'm going to switch positions like so. Okay? This is the second way. This is not a proper baseball bat choke finish, but this is something I do all the time in the academy. I can go across his body, and I can squeeze here. Okay? This is the second variation. So I told you, 1, 2, 3. So the first one didn't work. I go for the second, and now I'm touching my elbows together, guys. Now, if this still isn't working, and I'm trying to squeeze, now look what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring my left knee down, and I'm going to bring my head to the other side, really low. And now I'm going to squeeze. And that's the tightest variation of the baseball bat choke you're going to get. But you oftentimes don't need to go there. Right? Like I said, I've even finished people when I'm here and here, and he pushes my leg into quarter guard. Right? I go back into the knee cut like this, and then I just finish right here. A lot of times. Okay? Assuming he doesn't get my knee in, I try the first one. Boom, boom. It's not working. Second one. It's not working. It's not working. Third one. And now I can get it. I'm going to save Ty's neck the pain because the baseball bat choke is super tight. It's a really fun choke to work with. A friend of mine who loves lapel chokes and has landed like 50 in competition showed me kind of the suicide choke variation of it, which is where you sacrifice bottom position to get it. And I figure, let's make the video a little funner and show it, because I do this all the time when I roll with like white, blue, even some purple belts. Move back a little. Basically, once you get your grips, he's pushing on you. You come here and here, you get your grips, right? Nice and tight. Look what I do. I do a forward roll over my right shoulder. Ty follows me, and I finish from the bottom. I thought that was super cool. I learned that variation of as a brown belt. I always knew the baseball bat choke from bottom to top, but I never thought to roll over and tighten it. Because naturally you create that reaction where he follows. And for those white belts watching, the baseball bat choke is the one choke that can really successfully be applied from bottom. It's the only choke in my entire jiu-jitsu career to put me to sleep. I was a blue belt. I was going with a friend of mine who was a blue belt. He did it. I took his back. He was holding it. I was like, yeah, seatbelt. And I was out. So it's that one choke that you see a lot of good guys pass out to because they're just moving too quick or something. So one more time, I get to the knee on stomach. He pushes on me. I get my first grip, elbow tight. Second grip, I go variation 1, try to finish here. Maybe I get the finish. Variation 2, try to finish here. This is my most common finish. And variation 3 is the last one. And then if we want to have fun, variation 4, we roll over and get the choke there. So, that's my favorite choke from knee on belly. The second opportunity that you have is a cross choke. I prefer the cross choke if I know my opponent is good or going to establish quarter guard. So let's go back to knee on belly. So assuming I popped up, he wasn't doing anything, whenever I do the cross choke from knee on stomach, I always take the time to open that near side lapel and dig my right hand in, palm up, super tight. And I bring my forearm across his chin. I bring my forearm across his chin to force him to push into me and turn, just like this. And then I move it out of his chin and I pull it tight, kind of like I'm revving a lawnmower, right? I'm like trying to do this. I pull it tight. So I'm here. Now, keep in mind, I'm very, very deep. I always tell my students, if you think your grip is deep enough, go deeper, right? Try to grab at the tag area. Now, my second hand, I just like to come right over and karate chop. Elbow comes in, I sprawl down, and I finish here. I have to get super low, guys. The reason I like this is because when you're in this transition, oftentimes Ty can get to a quarter or half guard, right? He can find my leg, and he can put it here. But guess what? If he does that, I just come into that knee cut position, drive my head to the mat on the far side, and I finish anyways. I love the cross choke for that reason. So again, I popped up to knee on belly, right? He's pushing on me. I open his lapel, grab deep, and I put my forearm in his face. Is your neck okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I put my forearm in his face. Ty had his neck injured recently. So he starts to push me this way, right? As he does, I move my hand, I slide off, I don't let him retain guard, and look, my hand's already here, my chin is on his shoulder. Now I can start to sprawl down and finish here. If my opponent gets the quarter guard, no worries. Look, he gets my leg, I knee cut it out. And now look, I'm gonna flatten him again, and I'm gonna fall this way. Just make sure you have base and you don't get rolled over, right? He could maybe push me over here. Exactly, we have to prevent that, so have base, guys. If you do feel you're gonna get pushed, he goes to push. Here, base. Do not give up the top position just to try to get the choke. Because unlike the baseball bat choke, if he rolls you with a cross choke, it will be very hard to finish the cross choke from here. I have done it, but I would not recommend trying it. So that's our second choke. And now our third choke is in the transition to the mount, attaining the Ezekiel choke. This is my sneakiest choke. I'm not going to apply it because Ty did hurt his throat, but I'm going to show you the setup, which is all you need to see. So look, we're on knee on belly, and I'm here. Let's move back a little. And I'm here like this. Okay? You can use either arm, right? I think it's better to use this arm. Why? This is definitely the superior arm, but I've seen it all. So most of the times, I mentioned in my last video, I play a knee on belly side control hybrid. And what I mean by that is I'm here like this, putting pressure, my opponent's doing nothing offensively, I bring my knee up. Okay? When I'm like this, oftentimes I walk my hand up, grab 4 fingers in my sleeve, and I sneak this grip. Now look, I bring my hand inside in front of his throat, and as I come forward for the mount, I already have my Ezekiel, and I can start to apply by scissoring my hands like so. Well, a mistake I see with the Ezekiel is people posture up too much as they do this motion. So they're here like this and they do this. You don't want to posture up, you want to stay low. You want to be able to apply that pressure at a low point so that he can't start shoving on your face. So this is kind of like a mount transition, but already establishing that head control with the Ezekiel choke. So again, I was here, I'm controlling him, I walk up, I get my grip nice and tight, I start to sneak in and I come forward. Guys, look at my left leg, it's on his hip. Other leg comes off, I'm here and I get it. Even if he catches your ankle, that's fine. He catches my ankle, as long as I'm underneath his chin, I will get the Ezekiel choke finish. I've done this too, when I pop up and he's pushing on me, now I can get a really good cross face. And I can come back and start to work my Ezekiel choke finish. The reason that I said this video works well with the other one, just to connect the two a little more, is oftentimes when you go for those arm locks, the chokes open up, and vice versa. When you go for the chokes, the arm locks open up. Maybe he defends by pushing or by doing something awkward. So I'm always trying to create situations where I can exert as little energy as possible to finish guys that are stronger than me. And then they're going to think you're strong, because you're like, man, you got my arm so easy. And meanwhile, you're like, no, you just completely extended it, so I didn't have to do anything. But that's the way I've always done my jiu-jitsu. You very rarely will find me forcing things. If I am forcing something, it's probably to open something else. It's probably not to force that specific movement. Now, obviously, take it all with a grain of salt. There are definitely times that you do have to use strength, for sure. It's an athletic sport. There are times you have to go hard on certain things, like I compete all the time, like strength plays a role for sure. But just as a basic philosophy for how I like to do my jiu-jitsu, it's very flowy and it's very finesse. Anyways, guys, if you made it this far, thank you so much. Props to you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell to be notified of when I make new videos. Thanks to my friend Ty. Thank you so much to you guys. Always, guys, thanks so much.